Number 7. Ghost Rider. Late one night, this rider was cruising along a seemingly quiet and empty road. Everything appeared normal, just a man and his motorcycle cutting through the darkness. The camera mounted on the bike captures the road ahead, showing nothing unusual. But when the rider decides to point the camera to him, something chilling comes into view, and the night takes a truly dark turn. Take a look. Did you catch that? It's subtle, but it's there, riding right behind him. The shadow of what looks like a person, as if something decided to hitch a ride. The road's empty, the night still, no hands holding his chest, no shadow with the camera pointing forward, yet this shadowy figure appears only when pointing the camera to him. How's that even possible? There's no one else around, not a soul in sight. As the camera moves, you can see it. First, it's just him. Then suddenly, there's another shadow. It's eerie and unsettling, like it belongs to some passenger who isn't physically there. Could this just be a trick of the light, or are we talking something a bit more supernatural? The idea of a ghostly hitchhiker is hard to ignore, especially when the evidence is staring you right in the face. In the comments, some joked about it being his ghost girlfriend, but there's nothing funny about this sighting. That shadow leaves us with way more questions than answers, and the creepy feeling that something otherworldly might have joined him on that ride. Number 6. The Dragon Manor. Dragon Manor, a name that gives anyone who knows its twisted history the heebie-jeebies. This abandoned estate has sparked countless rumours, with stories of eerie happenings and ghostly figures creeping through the years. Tonight, a group of investigators decided to go back in, armed with cameras and flashlights, hoping to catch whatever haunts these halls. Little did they know, they were about to stumble into something that would chill them to the bone. Take a look.
这什么图这是？清明上河。我操！谁？啊！哎呦我操！哎！啊！我操你妈！回来！ 你搁门口待着，我看看，我看看咋回事。
Deeper into the manor, the tension cranks up a notch. The team come across what looks like a regular bookcase, but then things get weird. The books start to move, slowly lifting on their own, like some invisible hand is guiding them. It's subtle, but undeniably eerie. What kind of power is messing with these objects? Just when you think things couldn't get any weirder, a mop starts moving on its own. sweeping the floor like it's got a mind of its own. Moments later, a broom joins in, doing the same creepy dance. It's like the house is alive, taking care of chores no one's touched in ages. The team, and let's be real, all of us watching, are left wondering if Dragon Manor has a life of its own, making us question what the heck we're actually seeing.
谁？哎呦我操！哎，谁？出来！谁？出来！谁？ 我现在真的，我瞬间感觉这心土土的现在。哎，老魏！我操你妈！
Finally, the team makes it to the dining area, and this is where things take a seriously unsettling turn. Bowls and chopsticks start sliding across the table, arranging themselves like they're being set by some invisible host. This deliberate action is perhaps the most disturbing moment of the night, suggesting that whatever is haunting this place is not random, it's intentional, and it has a message. But what do you think? Could they just be pulling the wool over our eyes? Or did they stumble across something that should have been left alone? Let us know your thoughts. Number 5. Cemetery Creeper. It was supposed to be just another dare, a group of kids visiting an old cemetery at night, armed with flashlights and way too much confidence. But as they wandered down the shadowy paths, their laughter and whispers started to fade, replaced by an eerie silence that seemed to close in around them. And then it happened. At first, it's easy to miss. A shadow shifting, something or someone moving behind the trees. But if you look closely, just past the graves, there's a figure peeking out from behind one of the old trees. Was it one of the kids messing around, trying to spook the others? Or was it something else? Something that doesn't belong to the living? Let's rewind and take a closer look. Notice how the figure stays just out of sight, half hidden, like it's watching the kids from a distance. The way it just lingers there, barely moving, feels off, almost like it's waiting for them to come closer. Who or what could it be? Maybe the spirit of someone buried there, keeping tabs on any brave or foolish enough to wander in after dark. So, what do you think? Just a trick of the light? Or did these kids stumble upon something truly paranormal? Let us know in the comments. A poltergeist told me you enjoy scary videos like this, but don't subscribe just yet. We'll earn your subscription by the end of this scary compilation. Number 4. That old ass house. On a night thick with darkness, a lone man steps into an abandoned home, his flashlight flickering like it might give up at any second. The place is a wreck, walls crumbling, debris everywhere. The air feels heavy, almost like the house is pressuring in on you the moment he stepped inside. There's this suffocating silence, like the whole place is holding its breath, just waiting, feeling the dread settling in. He starts to pray, his shaky voice like it's his last line of defense against whatever's hiding in those shadows.
في أحد في المكان؟
As he moves deeper into the house, the silence gets even heavier, almost crushing. He calls out, his voice echoing through the empty rooms. But there's nothing, no reply, and in a place like this, that kind of silence isn't comforting. It's a red flag that something is very, very wrong.
هنا أرعب موقع أو أرعب موقف داخل. في أحد؟ لا إله إلا الله، الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم.
He carefully makes his way up the stairs. There's nothing visible, but you can feel it. The air around him is thick with unease. Sensing something's off, he starts praying again, like he's trying to shield himself from whatever unseen force might be lurking nearby.
الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء.
Then, everything goes pitch black. The only light is coming from the door at the other end of the room. A faint beacon in the darkness, but as the camera zooms in, you see it, movement at the far end at 4:43. Something or someone is there. The fear is off the charts, with this unknown presence making its first chilling appearance.
وأنتم الضعفاء. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا هو إلا بإذنه إلا بإذنه. لا إله إلا الله. ويني؟ الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء.
Suddenly, a metal door starts shaking violently on its own, rattling in the eerie silence. Mustering up some courage, he opens it, only to find nothing. The doors, while shaking, and the emptiness behind it just add another layer to the mystery of what's really going on in this haunted place.
لا 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 أنا لا خلاص أبي أطلع أنا أبي أطلع. هاي تقفل علي ذا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إخواني خواتي ربي يسعدكم. أخاف يتقفل علي الباب، أقسم بالله لا تقفل ما عاد ينفتح، حديد هذا. ربي يسعدكم، استودعتكم الله الذي لا تضيع ودائعه، واترككم في حفظ الرحمن ورعايته وفي أمان الكريم.
Finally, the dude had enough. The atmosphere, the creepy happenings, it's all just too much. He makes the call to get out of there, leaving the house and whatever dark forces are lurking inside. As he steps out, you can't shake off the lingering dread, wondering what might have happened if he stuck around just a bit longer. Number 3. Speedy Cryptid. We've all seen some creepy stuff on late night walks, but this next clip from one of our regular viewers, Hamza from Turkey, might just take the cake. It kicks off with some heavy breathing, and you can feel the tension through the shaky camera. The flashlight flicks on, slicing through the dark, and then the camera dips down to check under a parked car, almost like he's looking for something lurking down there. But then, something unexpected happens, something that'll make your heart skip a beat. Take a look. Did you see that? Just as Hamza stands back up, a small, unnerving creature darts from behind one of the cars to another, moving so fast you could miss it if you blink. It's not human, not by a long shot, and the way it moves, low to the ground with this creepy, inhuman speed, is enough to make anyone question what they just witnessed. The creature dives under another car, vanishing into the darkness and leaving behind a heavy sense of dread. What could this thing be? An animal? Something supernatural? Hamza's footage just raises more questions than it answers, and you can hear the fear in his voice. This was no ordinary encounter. Let's roll back and watch that moment again. Did you catch it? We're dying to hear your theories. Drop them in the comment section. Number 2. Haunting at the morgue. At stupid o'clock, this abandoned morgue turns into a grim reminder of the tragedies that once filled its halls. The place where so many meet the end of the road is now just left there to decay, absorbing whatever energy might be hanging around. The air feels heavy, like the walls themselves are holding on to memories of sorrow and loss.
Pessoal, eu lembro a primeira vez que eu vim aqui, certo? Tinha aquela boneca, tá? Tinha aquela boneca que tava bem aqui, ó, certo? Tava bem aqui. O que ele tinha feito? Quando ele foi até o acidente, que ele recolheu o corpo, trouxe até aqui, certo? Ele trouxe também aquilo junto e ele tinha deixado ali. Foi quando ele me falou, e a primeira vez que eu vim filmar ele deixou como se fosse uma coisa qualquer que vocês estão vendo ali, entendeu? Ninguém ia imaginar o que ia acontecer igual vocês viram aqui. Quem assistiu o vídeo aí, tá? Necrotério, aconteceu aquilo com a boneca. Então o que acontece? Ele me chamou novamente, certo? E bem ali é onde ele guardou, que ele já me passou a informação, tá? Tenho que respeitar, ele tá ali fora, do outro lado da rua, certo? Então eu tenho que respeitar isso aí, certo, pessoal? Vou estar fechando aqui, ó.
A guy walks into this creepy place. Why? Who knows? He's not just here for some casual exploration. He's back at a site where something seriously messed up happened before. A doll, found at an accident scene and stashed in the morgue, started causing all sorts of unexplainable disturbances. They even locked it away in a coffin, but this thing just doesn't seem to know how to rest. Ever since, people have reported shadowy figures and this suffocating atmosphere, which is why he's back tonight, facing the morgue again.
Tá fechando. Eu peço que esteja aqui. Eu peço licença, certo? O que esteja aqui que vem incomodando o proprietário aí? Você pode dizer algo pra mim? Você pode aparecer pra mim? Você pode dizer algo? Você pode se manifestar pra mim? Eu tô pedindo, você pode se manifestar.
As the dude ventures deeper into the building, you can practically feel the weight of the place pressing down on him and us, the viewers. The camera catches every tense moment, every tiny flicker in the corner of the frame. He starts asking for a sign, daring whatever's in the shadows to make itself known. The silence is thick, almost too heavy, like it's just waiting to explode. And then, it happens. A shadow appears right in front of his eyes, subtle but unmistakable, like something's there watching, waiting in the dark. But then, poof, it's gone.
Pode se manifestar pra mim? Você pode se manifestar? Minha nossa, mano, olha isso! Olha isso, cara! Cara do céu, você é louco, velho! Olha isso, pessoal! Cara, eu não acredito, mano, na nossa frente, velho! Olha isso, como é que eu tô arrepiado, velho! Olha isso, pessoal! Cara, eu não tô acreditando, mano! Cara! E o negócio que tava ali, ó! Olha isso, pessoal, subindo mais, ó! Subindo mais! Olha isso, ó! Pra vocês verem! Opa, 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 opa! Você quer dizer por que você permanece aqui? Você pode aparecer pra mim de novo? Cara, eu tenho certeza que eu vi ali, ó. Eu vi ali, ó. Eu não entendi direito. Cara, não vejo hora de assistir isso aqui. Você é louco. Pessoal, eu não posso. Cara do céu, você é louco. É horrível gravar aqui assim, ó. Pessoal, eu não posso. Tá? Devido a pedir. Eu vi alguma coisa ali. Eu vi uma sombra ali, ó. Pessoal, é horrível estar aqui dentro, certo? Opa, 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 opa. Cara, que cheiro esquisito, mano. Pessoal, a boneca, tá? Ele colocou aí dentro. Ele me disse que jogou um monte de coisa aí, tá? Já tem um tempo. Largou aí, certo? Opa, 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 opa. Eu tô escutando. Escuta. Escuta, escuta, escuta. Que isso? Eu vi de novo ali, ó. Cara, você é louco. Pessoal, é o seguinte. Ele me disse que deixou aí dentro. Nós vamos abrir, certo? Porque da última vez estava lá no chão. De lá, ele juntou um monte de tranqueira, jogou aí dentro. Já tá desse jeito de novo, tá? Ele não tá conseguindo usar direito aqui, certo? O local tá assombrado. Pessoal, eu não tenho a permissão, certo? Eu não tenho a permissão de filmar ali dentro, tá? A pedido dele, do proprietário, eu não posso, certo? Porque ali dentro é onde vão os corpos, é onde ele abre, arranca tudo que tem dentro do defunto, certo? Cê é louco. É isso aí, pessoal. Nós vamos estar abrindo aqui agora, certo? Olha, eu não vim aqui pra confiar. Opa, 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 opa. Eu vi aqui, ó. Eu vi de novo. Pessoal, tá aqui junto com a gente, certo? Cara, tá horrível gravar aqui. tá aqui junto com a gente, certo? Então eu vou dizer pra você, eu vou pedir. O que é que seja aqui, eu não estou pra confrontar, certo? Você necessita de alguma coisa? Você precisa de algo? Opa, eu escutei. Eu escutei. É isso aí, pessoal, nós vamos abrir.
From this point onwards, either the air gets colder, or this dude is in desperate need of his spare pants already, considering the amount of goose pimples popping out on his arms as the camera creeps closer to the coffin, where they stashed a creepy ass doll. The whole vibe gets electric with tension, like something's about to go down. And then it does. The doll's head, just barely visible in the dim light, starts to turn like it's acknowledging the guy's presence. Number 1. The hospital residence. This footage comes from an old Indian health service hospital, a place filled with history and, unfortunately, loss. Built in the early 1900s, this hospital was a lifeline for the surrounding Native American tribes. Some had to travel over 2 hours just to get here. Despite its role in healing, many tribal members tragically passed away within its walls, and the echoes of those losses seem to linger. Down in the basement of this hospital is a room that once had a grim purpose, a makeshift morgue where bodies were kept. It's a place with a heavy vibe, the weight of countless souls that pass through, and it's in this very basement, after 2 AM, that something seriously chilling was caught on video. As the camera rolls, you can see it. A shadowy figure glides from left to right across the frame. There's no one else around. No logical explanation from this dark shape drifting through the corridor. It's only there for a moment, but it's unmistakable, and just to top off the creepiness, the door at the end of the hallway slowly swings shut on its own. Like some invisible hand is giving it a nudge. Is this the restless spirit of someone who once lived and maybe died within these walls? Or maybe it's the echo of those who were brought to this hospital, their journeys ending in that cold, unforgiving basement. Whatever it is, that shadow and the closing door serve as a chilling reminder that the past never truly leaves us.